Welcome back to another edition of Kakaki Cancer Awareness. We're back again, are we? Okay, so what are we talking about? The canvas of courage at the hills at University of Abuja Teaching Hospital. That's what I've called it today. So where are we going? I am Dr. Denise Ejoh, the CEO of Cormode Cancer Foundation, and today we're bringing you a special episode, and it's mainly to look at the arts and the role of art in the healing process of cancer patients in around the world. Together we fight, together we win. We believe that cancer awareness and care go beyond medicine. It's also about healing the art, the spirit, the mind. And who better to help us to see this than an artist who has dedicated his gift to bringing light into the lives of children battling with cancer. It is my pleasure to welcome our special guest. Who is our guest today? Our guest today is Mr. Joseph Steve. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning to you, Dr. Denise. It's a pleasure to be here this morning.
How are you doing? I can see a very nice piece of artwork behind you. Looking really good.
Oh, yes. Thank you very much.
Maybe I'll come and get one whenever I'm in Abuja. Especially me.
It'll be a pleasure. It'll be a pleasure.
Don't worry, I will collect it. You'll be so surprised. When I'm in my Abuja, I will give you a call and tell you I want my own. Okay, so let's keep going. Joseph is a Nigerian multidisciplinary art graduate from Obafemi Awolowo University, who got a degree in applied art, fine art, fine and applied art. I should always know that because I did it. Don't know what I'm talking about. Recently, he won the grant to create a paint wall at the University of Abuja Teaching Hospital. And I don't know if any of you recall, we did have a discussion about this and how we were going to look for somebody who was going to paint the wall in University of Abuja Teaching Children's Hospital, the children's ward of that hospital. Because, you know, sometimes, and I talk from a place of cancer itself, when we see beautiful things around us, honestly, it brightens the day no matter how dull, how sad. That's why sometimes people like me like looking out into the gardens, into the greens to see the beauty of God and helping us to recognize that God is still in the battle with us. So I'm going to start this conversation by saying, sit back, relax, and let's enjoy a conversation of art for a change, not the horror of all that comes with art. Here we go. So, Mr. Joseph, I'm going to call you Joseph for the whole of this conversation. You are welcome to our Kakaki Cancer Awareness Program, sponsored by AIT. Okay?
It's a pleasure to be here.
Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so Joseph, thank you very much for joining us today. First of all, congratulations on winning that grant. Now you tell us, how did you feel when you received the news? Trust me, I was very involved in this thing. I was looking at it. So you tell me, how did you go?
All right. Well, okay, let me give a little bit of a story. Well, my art now has been a source of healing for me, as well as people around me. And at first, I started practicing art as a means of escape, from reality. Sometimes when I'm stressed, and I just, engage myself drawing, coloring, painting, and from there, I started to develop my skill, and I saw the need to actually put myself out there by applying for competitions as well as exhibition. And I think I've applied for countless competitions now that a few of them I've won. And when I came across Mural of Hope post on Instagram, I was hopeful. Why? Because the word Mural of Hope was captured. That was the theme for the competition, and it centered around inspiring or encouraging children with cancer. So deep down within me, when I did the first draft, I was hopeful. I felt it within me that this was going to make it to the top. Then I had this inspiration to do a second draft, which I did. And I just, put it out there. I made sure I followed all the instructions, and I just waited. You know, there was a time that we were waiting. I was expecting a response from the organizers. I was like, okay, let me just, relax and sit back. But this is mine. So that's what I told myself. Oftentimes when I, thought about when are these people going to, give us a feedback and all of that. So when the news came, I was just like, this is it, you know, and it was not surprising to me because I had felt it initially that I was going to win. So yeah, but I count it as a pleasure to use my skill to inspire and heal children, not just children, adults as well, going through one or two health issues. So yeah.
Art actually ministers to our soul. No matter how the world sees us in the dooms and the glooms of the cancer journey, I will say to you categorically, art makes a significant difference in how we view things going forward. So thank you very much. I really appreciate the fact that a lot of people did apply to come into it, and it is the thought that counts because it's for the children's world, and the children deserve a nice, bright, happy place to go into in the midst of not understanding what the storms are going to be like, but at least they have a safe place. So let's keep going. I really appreciate you for that. So that's very interesting. Now, what's my next question? So, art truly speaks when words don't speak. That's correct. So let me now ask you,
Hmm.
can you share how your personal journey as an artist connects with this specific?
Okay, with this specific the theme,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the is it the competition? Yes.
The theme, yes, the theme.
Yeah. Okay, mural of hope, cancer. Okay, let me give you a story of how I grew up. I started drawing at the age of 5, and I can remember well that I would improvise by using found materials around me, pencils, pen, markers, crayons, and all of that. So I would combine them to just, scribble out my feelings, my thoughts. If I was, angry or I had thoughts or questions in my head. So these tools were what I used to just, put out my feelings. Sometimes as children, we carried burdens that we could not actually make sense of to, our parents or adults. So art was like a safe place for me where I could just, easily express myself without just the way I want, without over explaining. So growing up, I advanced to secondary school where I had no art teacher, but I was still practicing. So I ended up doing arts in Wayakaneko, and I excelled. Well, I went on to the university exploring, arts. I was like one of the best graduating students, and looking at children, because currently I teach in a school where I find children, really inspired by art. They always want to just draw and draw. Sometimes they come to the studio and give me drawings. So just please paste this drawing here in the studio. I would like to see it and all of that. So it's like a big inspiration for to children that cannot actually express themselves by words. So they use colors, lines, shapes, forms to just put out their feeling out there. And sometimes when I look at their work, I'm heavily inspired. Why? Because when I ask them what the inspiration was, behind the drawing, sometimes they can't explain. I just okay. Sometimes you don't need to explain. You just need to see, feel, and solve the puzzle yourself because that's your own job as the viewer. So basically, yeah. Now, moving on to how this relates to the theme, mirror of cancer. Now, I've come to realize that children sometimes can be helpless, especially when it comes to navigating a modern world. And sometimes we can better equip them with confidence by being there for them, by being present with them. That's understanding them that children will always be children, and we can't expect them to be like us. Little things that they go through, they just express themselves by shouting, by screaming, by crying. Sometimes personally, I never had much of this, attention when I was growing up. So sometimes when I see children expressing, I feel inspired. Sometimes I'm like, come on, I learn from them, and it teaches me to, express, not childishly, but childlikely. Understand? So basically, this is to actually inspire children who are going through one or two things that adults barely can take, with so much pain, cancer, and all. So this is like a source of encouragement to them, because there was a poem I attached to, I used to accompany the sketch. So the poem was from the perspective of a young boy, a young boy child that overcame cancer through the pain, the treatment, and all. So he was putting out words to children who are just, in the process of experiencing cancer. So I was basically trying to inspire them that he has gone through this with pain and all. So it will be like a source of hope to these other ones now that are experiencing cancer. So yeah, that's basically the inspiration behind and how it relates to the theme.
So now looking at your own personal journey, looking at the fact that you decided to come into this competition and let's put it as a give back. Have you visited the ward by any chance? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, yes, I have. I think there was a time we had my school here had an outreach. We went to, like, it was like a charity outreach organized to just help people in the hospital. So we visited different wards where we have mothers and children. We have the pediatric ward as well as men. And when I got to the, I was shook. I was emotional because I got to understand what people actually go through, outside my own circle, you know, and I was filled with a lot of sad emotions. And at some point, I think I remember shedding tears because I saw pain that children had to go through that they were not actually meant to go through. But yeah, I think I have an idea, but when it comes to experiencing something personally, I do not have a personal experience, but
You can't
I've seen.
no, you can't experience cancer. Don't worry.
I don't. I know I don't. I don't want to just.
Don't worry. Don't worry. We are experiencing it. We know how it feels. So no, we don't pray for you to experience it. Don't worry about that. It's just
Thank you.
important that when art is about your soul and your experience, your how you connect with it, and when you're going to be painting the mural for that wall in that place, at least you have an idea what to do. So I'm going to ask you one question. What themes or colors or images are you planning to bring to this mural? What are we expecting to look at? And I'll crack you,
All
tell
right.
you why. There's a mural I saw a long time ago in a house, and the artist had drawn it and in the 60s and drew computers. It's in a studio. It's in a museum in the UK. But I couldn't understand how he in the 60s he drawn about computers. So go on then.
Mm.
That's how you people think, innit?
All right.
Innit?
One. Yeah. In it. All right. One atmosphere that gives me safety, and I believe that gives everyone safety, is nature. So what I do most of the time is, if I want to inspire safety, I usually draw or paint a natural space that has skies, clouds, rainbow, um, a field of flowers and grasses with butterflies and trees, that can actually inspire people. And whenever they see the painting, they just get, all soaked in and they feel safe. Whatever it is that you are experiencing at that point, you just forget it and you just enjoy and live in the moment. So um, the painting is going to have a natural scenery, which is going to include the sky, clouds, rainbow, butterfly, with children in that space. So, and the expression is going to be, joy, excitement, happiness and playfulness, all of that. So at that moment, they would be forgetting their experience and just enjoying what they have. And I believe that play sometimes has healing properties, healing essence to children. So that's why sometimes whenever you deprive them of play, there's this, kind of feeling it gives to them. They're most likely to start throwing tantrums every now and then. So I think the idea I have.
Mr. Joseph, you don't realize I'm a maths teacher by profession. So it's quite interesting to see how you talk.
Thank you.
You talk with passion about how you want the children to feel, and that's actually what we're trying to achieve. Because making sure that the children connect with recognizing their feelings, developing strategies, but having a safe space that they can see joy, they can see light, they can see is very important. So I'm going to take it that, yeah. And your engagement with the world, how have you considered families, parents, carers, the the workforce, the people that work in this space? How are you bringing them into the picture? Because Nana, I'm talking to you from somebody who has cancer and lives with it. It's very important that we all of us, all these people actually do make the journey reasonable. I'm being honest with you. So it's not just about us as the patient. Those people I've just mentioned are very key in our healing, which I'll tell you, it's very central in the healing of those children. So how would you incorporate them? What are your thoughts of incorporating them into the discussion?
Well, I think into the painting. Yeah. Well, just like I've stated earlier, the sketch, initial sketch I had, just consists of children alone. But with this you have said, I can consider adding some adults, maybe a few adults in the background, maybe cheering these children on. You know, when adults actually see children doing taking some responsibilities, there is just some source of inspiration, or this boost of inspiration that we get. So I could come up with a new sketch now that would incorporate a few adults, maybe doctors and some other people in different professions that have the same experience, you know, have history or experience with cancer.
Yeah, that I think we would really like. We would really like to. Honestly, we really like to see it because, like I say, it's a lived experience that we don't wish for anybody. But when you see the children in their pain, they are the ones that hold each other, no matter what anybody thinks. And it is important that, at least I'm hoping that this mural will be a source of light, you know. I can't explain because me too, I'm in this thing with them, so I get where they're coming. So I know I'm trying to make sure that you must deliver for us. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you another one.
No problem.
So beyond beauty, what message of hope or courage do you want this world to carry? And I'm hoping that you would have like a thought of, I'm looking at something like a slogan thought that came into your mind or has come into your mind that is inspiring you to know that this, by the time they see this thing, these children will be able to create their own. Go on. What are you?
Well, I think okay. Growing up,
when I was expecting long term, the role of this mural, because honestly, I am excited for it because of this mural. I'm going to visit that hospital. I don't go to the hospital. I don't go.
I would like to see
you. I go enough times every month, like 5-6 times. I'm not adding going to see a mirror, but for this one, I will go. So go on.
All right. I can't really think of a slogan per se. Maybe along the line when I'm in the process that's the my inspiration or creativity gets to its climax. But when I'm thinking too, sometimes I get ideas.
Okay, so what message? Okay, so what message? Don't use slogan. Use message.
Okay, message. All right. There is a slogan that I've always lived by while growing up as a teenager. I usually had anxiety disorder or social anxiety. So there is this slogan now that I usually use to encourage myself: is every man needs to be free from himself. Sometimes I used to be scared of being too little or being too much. But sometimes I now ask myself, what if I'm being too little? You know, now the message I'm going to be passing across now is that people should not feel alone. As much as they feel like they're going through one or two things that people are not going through, they're not alone. You know, they can try their best to just live in the present and enjoy the best that they have within that moment. Everything's just going to be fine.
That's what we hope. That's what we fight for. And that's why we fight. So yes, we're going to aim to make sure the children live in the moment. It's the moment that really matters because honestly, I do I seriously identify with this. That's why. Okay, so um what do you see as the role of now? Let's talk about the hospital because it's good to do a mural.
All right.
But the point is that once the mural is okay, start with that one. What do you see as the long-term role of the of of art in the hospitals and in the cancer space as a whole? So not just this one you're doing, but after this one, what are you hoping to see? What do you want to see? Are you still there? Oh my. Okay, it seems that we've lost him now. I was actually getting into this conversation very, 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 very excited to finish. But anyway, let's end this conversation now. I want to say a very big thank you to, I hope to him. If he comes back on, then yes, fine. But if he doesn't, let's look at it from this perspective. Um, Friends, cancer awareness is not only about treatment. It's about creating spaces of hope, color, and healing for patients and families. The canvas of courage reminds us, or should remind us, that even in the hardest battle, art can heal. So you can continue this conversation with us online. I think he's back, and I want him to answer this question if he gets back in. And then I finish. Oh,
All right.
thank God.
I think I'm back.
I need you to
Sorry
answer
for
this question
the.
because I was closing already. Please answer this
All
question.
right.
Go on.
All right. So please take the question again.
Which one was it now? Okay. What
What's on?
do you see as the long-term role of art in hospitals and the cancer awareness and the cancer space across Nigeria and to everybody around?
Well, I believe in therapy, art as being a source or a tool or a therapeutic tool. Now, I'm a living experience. I've not had cancer, but I've had feelings now that art has helped me overcome. You know, we have that of depression, we have that of anxiety. We know the things that these feelings can, if not properly managed, can lead someone to do. Suicide and all of that. I believe that for children, it's going to help them to be creative. And sometimes if it's possible that those children with battling with cancer can be present during the process of the mural, trust me, it's going to have a positive effect, you know, on them or to them or in them. You understand? So they get to understand the process and just, be in wonder. So I believe this is going to be like a source of therapy, a source of inspiration, you know, that would make them feel, seen, make them feel like they're not um, left aside, even with the fact that they have a disease or cancer and all of that. It makes them feel like they are a vital part of this world. So that's basically what I believe that arts will do in the long run to both children and adults and even visitors that come into this space of the hospital.
I want to say a very, very big thank you to you, Joseph. It's really great to see you, to hear you. I mean, see you on screen. You know, everybody I see on screen first. So to see you on screen, but
It's
honestly,
a pleasure, ma.
it's awesome to see you, and I look forward to the work you're going to produce for us. And let's see how this will make other children's wards look very bright and happy, because the experience is not easy, but at least with a nice space, we have a chance of doing very well. Thank you for
Mm,
honoring this invitation, and
it's a
congratulations
pleasure. Thank
once
you very much.
again. Congratulations
Thank
on,
you so much.
we really appreciate.
It's a pleasure.
Okay, to viewers, we want to say a very big thank you to you all for joining
Much. It's
us.
a pleasure to be here.
We want to say thank you very much for joining us this week, and we look forward to seeing you again in September. Now, you can see Childhood Cancer Awareness Month is September, and this particular interview was very well timed to make sure that we start to think about what we're going to be doing in September, where we go back to looking at what's going on with the children. Okapi Cancer Foundation is doing something. Please follow their page, look at what they're doing. You can follow this conversation and see what we're doing and see how much work we're doing on all our social media handles: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. No, I don't even know my Twitter. Our YouTube channel, as you know, which is Cormode Cancer Foundation NG281. I always got it wrong before. Let's keep the conversation going. I am Dr. Denise Ejoh, and it's been great having you again. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a lovely end of the month. Our message is very clear. Together we'll fight, together we win.